I'm of the opinion that if I ever start using AI for that reason, I've lost the fucking plot. I'm afraid.
I lost the plot a long time ago. I'm just going to own it.
When actually the world is crying out for the personal part, the human bit, connection bit.
Everything always overlaps. Everything always interlinks with everything.
But you've got to want to get out of bed and do it every day. Hold on, I don't have that tattoo there. What's that about? Slop.
AI slop. This is what we're talking about today. We saw some AI slop on the way here.
Oh, we did. We saw signage in a car park.
POS signage.
A POS signage with AI shit on it.
It's just
Awful.
It is.
It's always got like a dramatic sky on an AI poster, hasn't it? It's like, why?
It has got a dramatic sky, yeah.
And it's shit bag.
And it's always got, I can see it visually in my head now. Like say if you're putting on I don't know, a workshop, let's say, or something. It's always broken down into like 3 little boxes along the bottom, and it's all got the same amount of bullet points in each one.
Yep.
And then it's very busy.
It is very busy. There's so much on there.
There is a lot of information.
Yeah.
And you're right, like dramatic. Everything's just a bit OTT on it.
I don't like it at all.
So, I mean, the reason we're bringing this up is more and more of us are using AI now. I'm still really pro AI if you can use it as a strategic thinking partner. But to just produce... we need to thank Kate Hendry for the term of AI slop, don't we?
Yeah, we do. I think we should run an experiment. Let's do some AI slop visuals for CPA and see if people notice. See if they go like, girls, what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because I think you'd see a huge, like, you'd know straight away.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
AI flamingos everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Although, sod's law, the flamingos would probably work out pretty well.
They'll probably be better than our flamingos, yeah.
Yeah, but it's, I think this all comes down to you not knowing who you are enough.
Well, yeah, because and I think, right, if we all looked at it, we'd go, yeah, it's a bit generic, it's a bit shit. And yet a lot of us are still using it.
Yep.
So why? And you are right, not having full belief in what it is you do or knowing who you are or what you want to stand for. And it's an easy, like, oh, I'll just do that then.
Yeah, it's becoming like a tick box thing, I think. So like, right, I need to produce some content. There's the easy option.
Yeah.
It's the quick fix equivalent.
Yeah. In fact, what someone we were speaking to at the conference said they had something pending that was about to be posted, and then listened to the talk on AI slop and kind of the way the whole conversations over the last couple of days at the conference had been, to go like, pause, do not post that, because I think she's got a social media person, like, do not post that thing. It's slop, it's shit. We need to stop. We need to look at the whole strategic reasoning around like what we're putting on social media.
Yeah. And this is where I do have concerns sometimes, in that we do sound like a broken record, because we are always banging on about what is your vision? Where are you wanting to go? What is your purpose? What is the whole point of you doing what you're doing?
And is someone going to get that from AI slop, like imagery like that?
Yeah.
They're not, are they? They're just going to see it's the same as everyone else's.
Do you know, I wonder if this is actually a bigger conversation, because like we've just mentioned, the AI stuff comes out because we don't know what we're doing and who we are and all of this. And this is where I do genuinely wonder, and I think we've talked about this before, and I don't even think it's as easy as to say like you're this way inclined or you're that way inclined. This and that way being you air quote just want to make some money off of doing the dog training. You're not really that invested in it. Like, it'd be nice, but it's more of a hobby business, maybe, like it's your curiosity led thing, and if you can make some cash off of it, great. Versus, actually, no, I do want to go in this full steam ahead. I'm willing to put the work in to decide what it is that I want to do, what impact I want to have. And as much as it could be that black and white, and you could be either or, I I actually think there's this messy middle bit of you just don't know. You don't know either which one you're leaning more towards because you haven't necessarily thought about it. You've become that accidental business owner.
Yeah, but why should that purpose and passion and all that stuff be lesser because you aren't invested full time in the business? For me, I'm like, if you're going to do it, even if you're doing it on the side, it should be everything that you believe anyway, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I do struggle with this because I can understand it. I think there are some brains out there that will look at an opportunity to go, do you know what? I kind of enjoy that. I can make some money off of it. And it doesn't mean I have to be all in, passion led. It's the thing that I'm going to die on that hill type of thing. It is purely a means to an end of, I need to make some cash. I don't want to work for anybody else. If I'm going to work for myself, I'd rather do something that I enjoy. And
therefore the AI slop is justified.
Yeah, almost. And again, I think it's a hard one because I think there is this messy middle. There is this grey area of using it because you don't know how to. And I think that can fall into either one of those categories, because I think you can still have purpose and you're driven and you know where you want to be going, but you haven't done almost some of the steps within that purpose vision thing to be able to then know how to implement that into your branding. Versus on the other side, if we're hobbying and we're all of that, it's like, I just need to get something out there.
Yeah, and I suppose it's not maybe having had that opportunity or to know that it's the right thing to do is spend time on how that is perceived by the public. And I think in those earlier days, you probably could have got away with it looking more professional and looking a bit different from what others were doing. And now it's become the norm. And I think the public are seeing through it. And I think very much it's going to dip that trust rather than build that trust. And I think the more you can understand how it's perceived and the more that you can figure it out, like take yourself out of it and just look at yourself as a consumer in any way, shape or form and go like, how would that make you feel really? To see that, and also to see lots of other businesses doing similar, not necessarily identical, but really similar kinds of, I don't know, images, visuals, whatever. And I don't even get into the content like around it as well, because we haven't even touched on that yet. But this is literally, we're just saying about those kind of, those images, like almost a bit cartoony, but kind of real life cartoony things. And I think that's part of the problem, if I'm honest. I don't think people have stopped and delved into that enough. They've just jumped on a bandwagon that seems to be circulating and out there. Oh, I'll do that because that looks a good option. That looks a bit profesh. That looks like it takes me out of it, but for a good reason. Like they're just looking at the business part rather than the personal part, when actually the world is crying out for the personal part, the human bit, the connection bit. And without realising, we're taking all that away.
Yeah, there's I think there's so much wrapped up in this, because you could also look at it in feeling like you're being left behind because everybody else is doing it. Yeah,
absolutely.
So actually, am I missing a trick here?
Yeah. By not jumping on the bandwagon, I'm going to...
Is this what I should be doing?
Yeah. And I get that as well. I get it.
Because then it's like, well, yeah, actually. And I suppose, again, like thinking about it logically and emotionally, sole traders, which is a good majority of us out there, we haven't got a team. We haven't got the cash to invest in a team or an agency or a social media manager or whatever it may be. So actually, we're doing the best we can with the tools that we've now got, because AI is a fantastic tool and it's free or very, very low cost per month, depending on which provider you're using.
And it keeps getting better.
And it keeps getting better, and it's only going to keep getting better. So we've now got access to these incredible resources that we've never had before.
And if you liken it, I suppose, to like late 2000s when social media came about, it was that, we can start using this for business stuff. This is going to be helpful. This free. It's all that. And then people kind of dabble in it. And then there are people that just take it to the extreme and you know, produce things that maybe are questionable, maybe are not. And that's what I think is happening with AI as well, because it's like this new phenomenon, something that we didn't have before, and all of a sudden we've got it and we're just utilising the crap out of it, but to the point of saturation in a lot of cases.
Yeah, saturation very quickly as well, because it's on mass, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And everybody has access to it. It's not like an elite few now that can, you know, those early adopters where you'll be the ones if you can afford it. It's accessible.
Yeah. I tell you what, give me a lesson in this, because I don't even know. If I wanted to come up with one of those, what we talked about earlier, those kind of dramatic like backgrounds and the three things at the bottom. So you've got one main sort of image, I suppose. Then you've got like three things at the bottom, like could have like bullet points in or whatever it is. Yeah. How do you even like produce something like that? Do you just describe what it is that you want and it comes up with it? Because I don't even know.
So it'd be like, I'm always polite to Chatty. So I'm like, hi, Chatty. Here's what I need to put a Facebook post out there.
So let's do a CBA example.
Okay. Hey, Chatty. I want to advertise the upcoming CBA Live 2027. It is going to be over 2 days at the Village Hotel in Solihull, near Birmingham.
You're doing a great little plug here, subliminally, you know.
It's purposeful.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
It's a purposeful subliminal thing. Anyway, so do a post on Facebook with the dates, with the location. Here's an example image. I'm probably putting more into this now because I would provide it with images that we've already got. I would provide it with the brand colours that we've already got. Most people wouldn't do this.
So are you saying people would just say put a dog on it or something? Or
possibly not even that. It'd just be like, right, I'm a dog trainer. I've got to put a post out there to advertise classes or one-to-ones or workshop or whatever it is that you're trying to do. It's an event. Here's the dates. Here's the thing. This is how you buy the tickets. This is how much it is. Whatever. Bang.
And it literally just produces, and it'll just that produce looking thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah,
let's do a CBA version.
You don't have to put much into it to get something out of it. Darren's actually better at the image prompts than I, because I don't use it much for. Well, I don't use it at all for image. I'll use it as a strategic thinking partner.
So for an image prompt then, I'm guessing the more information you give it, the better
you can get better. So one of my, I might invite her onto the podcast actually. So she specialises in AI now. She's one of my old bosses when I worked at ITG. And she did a post on LinkedIn recently of if you put a crap prompt in, like a bare minimum thing, and I think she just did the description of, give me a picture of a woman in her, I don't know, like mid-40s or something, and it was just top line information, and you got an image and it was a shit image. And then she gave an example of if you prompt it correctly and go like, right, give me an image of a woman in her mid-40s, so she's actually around, more specifically 45, 46, this is her life experience, this is this, all of that stuff. And the image was brilliant. Oh, right. It looked like a photographer had taken it. So it's all about how much information you put into it. And this is where I think a lot of us, and this is why I keep bringing it back to, like, we need to know the equivalent of that postcode that we're plugging in for our business, because if you don't know that information, it's really hard for anybody to be able to help you. And this is where, kind of taking it off on a tangent, I know so many people that want business support and want business help, and they'll invest in marketing agencies, and they'll invest in social media managers, and they'll invest in seemingly the things that are going to help them generate the inquiries, when actually, even if you invest in all of those services, it's not that the service isn't a good service, it's that you haven't got enough information to be able to make that service work well enough for you. And I know this because my entire background from age 17 has been in marketing, and B, I still made the same fucking mistake even after 14 years in marketing, and I went and did this myself, got an agency on board, and they're like, what do you want? So I ended up with generic shit, and it was just a picture of me with a dog and a little like splodge across the top with my logo and a little bit of copy because they had nothing to work on. And I'm there getting really pissed off at the agency, going like, this looks shit, why isn't it good enough, it all looks the same. And they're like, I don't know what you want me, like.
Their brief was shit.
Yeah, the brief was shit.
The output was shit.
The brief was shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's because I didn't have an identity. I was like, I'm a dog trainer.
Well, and this is
and I
where
want to get information out.
Even a marketing agency would want to do some strategy with you around it, because if you don't know who you are, if you don't know who you're targeting, if you don't know what you stand for, if you don't know how you help people, what's the outcome, what's the result, you can't put decent stuff out.
Nope.
It's not going to work, is it? So for us, this is where just strategy comes in with everything. You can't do it without it, really. And so many of us, so many dog trainers are trying to operate a business without any strategy.
Yeah.
And then complaining that all the things don't work, all the puzzle pieces don't fit together. And that's because strategy is the missing pieces. It links everything together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I was going to say something else then. So our Peter, who works for us, did some...
Our Peter?
Our Peter. No, I was going to say something else. So put like a full stop, our, and then a full stop. Peter, who works for us, he did... I didn't realise this, but he did something and it had some AI images on.
I know where you're going.
And I didn't. Like, this is how fucking good it can be. Because I didn't notice it at first. And then I looked at myself and was like, hold on, I don't have that tattoo there. What's that about?
We had extra tattoos.
We had extra tattoos and tattoos that had moved around the body in different places slightly.
In fact,
I think I'd got one on my forearm and I don't have one on my forearm. So I was like, what's going on?
My Wolfie one that I've got on my forearm was completely different.
I think that it blended our tattoos together somehow. So I think I had one a bit like yours there, which I haven't got one there, and you'd got some of mine in yours. And it was only when I looked at my skin and was like, fucking hell, I look good in that picture. Like, where's my wrinkles gone? I've got smooth skin. And then I was like, Joe, is this like an AI image? You were like, yeah. I was like, don't like it. I don't like it.
As soon as I saw that image, I was like, we've never sat like that for a photo.
We were all posy and poised, and I was like, and I knew, that was the first flag. Then the tattoos.
Because I knew that those particular outfits we were in as well. I was like, we didn't sit and pose.
We were at the awards.
Yeah,
when we got
like
those
that was not
taken. Yeah.
So it's bloody clever.
It's really clever, and it's only like me had to figure out. It's not me myself. There are only a couple of red flags, so you know it is easy to get sucked in by this stuff, isn't it? Yeah. And go, oh, I like the fact that I've got less wrinkles there. Let's do more. But then I was like, immediately my thought went to, that's disingenuous, that is, because then if someone sees me,
someone sees you, they're like, hold on a sec,
you're
a lot older than
that don't equate to that. Like, it's this whole thing about, you know, when you're a dog trainer and you just live in leggings and like scruffs and don't put any makeup on, and then people see you outside of it and go like, oh, I'd rather it be that way round than if I looked all made up every day and then people just go like, ugh. You know what I mean? Yeah. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But no, it's so hard, isn't it? Because AI, same as every single one of our fucking topics, like everything always overlaps, everything always interlinks with everything.
Yeah.
Because AI, it is a good tool. It's an incredibly
and if you've done all the work and you know you've got a really good idea of who you are, where you're heading, what you're trying to achieve, what's the driver for doing this particular post, like whatever, and you need AI to be that sounding board or just refine it, just kind of, I don't know, you use it way more than like I don't really use it that much, but I understand it in that respect. It's like a bit of a partner, a bit of a like ask it a question, give it you back, like good information equals good like output again. But that means you have to know, have done all that pre-work first. And that's the only way it's going to be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to have your own knowledge and your own thoughts and opinions, because AI is designed almost as like that little bit of a dopamine hit, because it will agree with you. It will falsify information to make you like it almost, and to give you that feel good factor of yay. Again, we talked recently about validation.
Yeah.
It's like, I feel incredibly validated by it. And it's like, well, yes, because it's designed to make you feel good. In fact, like in, oh my God, I've got a memory from, we stayed in a lot of hotels recently this year, and Vicky always ends up putting a movie on and we have to fall asleep to watching a movie, to which she always falls asleep first and then I'm stuck thinking. Anyway, what was on? It was
one of the girl movies. We always end up watching.
It was just a Tom Cruise movie.
Just as a context thing, we always accidentally end up watching movies involving two girls. Weirdly, don't we?
Yeah. Although now I'm going to say Tom Cruise, and we've watched some Tom Cruise ones recently.
Yeah, we have actually.
Not the one the other night. It was Minority Report.
Yes,
maybe.
Yeah, that
was that a bit sci-fi?
Yes, I think it is.
So that one in it. Oh my God, I can't remember where I was going with my point on it now. But that one was all about it. Oh, I've totally forgot where I was going with it. That's really annoying.
Probably.
It is you interjecting as usual. It'll come back to me.
Come back around.
But almost it is that's kind of like that's it. You know how like in these AI sci-fi movies that you've got these robots, and some of them have even got them as like partners, like romantic partners as well. Yeah. And it's because of this whole relationship that you can have with them, because they're never going to disagree with you.
And don't you think, like, we need to remember they're not humans?
Well, yeah.
I think people are forgetting this. And I might joke about it, but I do think people
we are using it as like therapy.
Yeah.
Like, I reckon if you was to check most people's chat history, myself included in this, my chatty knows everything about what's going on.
I'm of the opinion that if I ever start using AI for that reason, I've lost the fucking plot. I'm afraid.
I lost the plot a long time ago. I'm just going to own it. But it is, because again, it's there to, and again, it's having that awareness to be able to go, right, it's good to think about it. It's good, but it doesn't mean it's gospel. It doesn't mean that that's the answer. The same way, as much as we bang on about like investing in your mentors, you have to know, like, how many times do we disagree with our own mentor? Still absolutely fucking love him, worship the ground that he walks on. Sometimes though, he's not right.
No.
Because we know more about what we're doing. But that doesn't mean he's any less valuable to us.
No, it doesn't mean we don't respect his opinion. We don't know. And basically we know with the information he's got on that topic, subject, whatever, that's the best information he can give regarding that.
Yep.
And sometimes that's enough and sometimes it's not. And we just figure that out between us, don't we?
Yep. But it all comes down to, no matter who you're using or what you're using, you
stay true to yourself.
Yeah, you have to know so much more about it, because even when I'm using, because I use ChatGPT a lot to strategically think with, because nobody else is up at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm there bouncing ideas off of, and every time it kicks back at something, I'm like, well, actually, I'm either going to agree or disagree with you. And if I agree with you, I'm like, well, actually, can you disagree with me for a moment and let me just play it out that way? And it's like, oh yeah, let me do this. Because I'm like, yeah, you've even admitted that you've just told me what I wanted to hear.
Do you know what the danger of this as well is? That if there is a different opinion from AI, that we chuck everything in the bin and we start again because they've said.
Yep.
Like, he hasn't agreed, let's call it he hasn't agreed, thinks it's a shit idea. I don't know whether it would actually say that because I don't know. And therefore I've got to start again. And I literally need to, or he suggested this could be a good idea, so I'm going to include that now. When that was never on that person's radar, that was never it just wasn't there before. And suddenly we think it's a good idea because Chatty said.
Yeah, this depends on how you're using it. Depends on how, kind of like what questions you're asking. Because I suppose, and again, it's hard because I don't use it that way, but I would imagine there is a high percentage of people out there going, what should I do?
Yeah.
Here's my predicament. What should I do? And then that AI will give you an answer based on either your history with it, so what it thinks it knows about you, and again, it can get it wrong. So I'm using AI at the moment to help me write my. So I've got to submit an annual review for Clay for his home education year to the council. And it's a good starting point. Starting point.
Yeah.
But even that's got confused because I've used it for other stuff in there, and it's blending stuff I've talked about with Hudson into Clay's one. And I'm like, you've gone off on a tangent here using information that I haven't asked you to use. But because at least I know it, I'm like, right, I will ignore that and I'll tell it off and like, stop being a twat. Don't use that. Use this.
It sounds like a child you need to keep on top of.
It is.
To me.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of hard work.
Yeah. And like I say, it's an easy distraction for a lot of people, I think. And it's all very, very dependent on how confident you are in yourself, how much knowledge you have, because I think I saw something recently as well that even 2 years ago, there was a big thing about, it's all about the quality of the prompts that you put in. It's the prompts. That's the only thing that's going to get you a good result. And now it's moved on again, as it would. And it's all about, well, actually, how much information does it know about you? And how much do you know about the information that you're putting in? Because you need to look at it the same way, like you and I having a conversation. It's like, well, actually, I'm going to disagree on some things. And here's the reason why I disagree. What do you think? And have that two-way conversation rather than you just agreeing with me.
Yeah, and I know it has got a lot of positive points. The thing that I'm taking from all of this, really, with someone who doesn't really use it, is it where we want it to create clarity, it can actually create more confusion.
Yep.
And get you stuck in that loop of going, I've come to you for the answer. Like, what should I do with my business? What do I need to change? What do I need to leave? I don't know what kind of questions you might ask it, but you guys out there, if you use it, you'll know. And then it goes, oh, well, you could do this, or you could do that, or blah, blah. And like you say, because based on those factors, it might not have enough information. It might be pulling other stuff in. You end up going, well, I'm even more overwhelmed now.
Yep.
And I'll keep going around in this loop of never making a decision anyway. So I've looked on social media, I've looked on YouTube, I've asked Chatty, and you're even in a worse position than when you started. Mm-hmm. And this is what concerns me, is that it actually creates more confusion.
Yeah. And there's more and more evidence coming out now that search engines are declining because everybody's using AI as a search engine. But
the AI, like Google, whatever it's called and stuff, their AI bit is taking over from the Google organic stuff, isn't it, that's coming up?
Yeah.
So you're not going to see that stuff anymore. You're going to see all that AI stuff at the top, which again could be useful. Like I do that sometimes. When I Google and it comes up with the AI, what's it called? The Google thingy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? That bit at the top. And then sometimes there isn't enough of that AI to give you the answer there, and it just jumps to the underneath bits. But very often now that bit's getting bigger, and that will take over like the whole of that search ability on Google, won't it?
Yeah. And this is where, like, you know, kind of like bringing it back full circle, there will be a percentage of people out there, I think, who will be thinking, I'm going to be out of a job. Whether you're a trainer or, you know, maybe it's nothing to do with job, maybe it's like other industries, there are definitely this percentage of I'm going to lose my job because AI is going to be able to take over it. So if we're already thinking that, yet we're using it to produce our content, why would the consumer trust you? Because the consumer, every time we're producing generic shit that just goes out there, to the consumer, they're like, why would I not just go direct to source? You don't have an opinion. You don't seem to have any experience because you're not portraying that. You're not sharing that information. If you're trying to, it's not coming across very well because it's the generic shit that's going out there. And this is where I feel really, I was going to say really sorry for people. That sounds really patronizing and I don't mean it like that. But I can feel how hard it is when, you know, you're not naturally a copywriter and you're not naturally a content creator and you're not naturally any of these things. I definitely do not put myself, or you actually, into that category of we're not natural in any of those senses. But because we are on this journey and we know who we are, for the most part. We're still figuring loads of stuff out. We're always going to grow. We're always going to evolve. That almost becomes the content in itself.
Yeah, yeah.
And it doesn't have to be this polished perfection stuff that we sometimes think it has to be.
And actually, the more honest and open and vulnerable you can be, hold your hands up to mistakes. Like, this is what we've always done. And whenever we do that, people always come to us and say, thank you for doing that. And again, it gives them the validation and them the, I don't know, like, ability to do the same in some cases. To go like, you've inspired me to actually just say, fuck it. Like, tell people what's going on, show people what's underneath. And that's the biggest thing that's ever going to build trust. If you show your fuck ups as well as your brilliant stuff. Like, this client came to me with this problem. I've got to be honest. I thought I was doing them a really good, like, I thought I was doing a good job. And I realised, like, maybe I wasn't. So I did this to try and make sure that I was. Or in the early days of my career, this is how I used to do stuff. Like, and actually I thought that was the best way of doing it. And I've learned that this was the other way. It doesn't mean that that was shit. It just means that was the point on the journey I was on. And you know, when you hear stuff like that or read stuff like that, that's the thing that connects with people more than any of this AI shit, all the stuff that's just coming out from everyone else. You and your journey, your story, the process you've gone through, the downs, more so the downs than the ups. People love hearing about the downs because they can connect to the downs. Not because they want you to fail, not because they go, ha, look at her, like she's going through this thing at the moment or been through it recently. They are like, fuck, they're a human being going through shit just like me. And I can't tell you the amount of people that have come up to us at the event like last week and just reaching out in emails and messages and like, I love the fact that you've said that. And we don't do it for any other reason but just to be us and just involve people in that whole entire process. Because why would you not? You want people to understand the reasons you do it, the reasons you got it wrong, and what you're doing to rectify it. That's it. That's the reason we do it.
Yeah. And AI just can't do that.
It can't.
It can try. And this is where I feel really bad because even some of our closest friends in business world, they are prolific on social media. And I'm like, I can't read it anymore because it's just AI. I was like, there is a case for putting content out there daily, which is no mean feat. So, you know, well done. But also, oh my God, like, I can't tell if it's your opinion or not anymore because it's just, and you can tell because it's all these spaced out words, it's line by line, it's like really short sentences. It's not because blah, 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 not because blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh God, I'm sick to death of reading it. And it's making me want to unfollow and it's making me want to not engage. And I'm like, imagine, and that's just me looking as like a bystander, I suppose. Like, but if I actually wanted to buy.
From our perspective, we probably follow quite a few people that use that approach. There might be people that actually don't see a lot of that kind of stuff. So they also see it and go, oh, wow, that's good. And so they might have a totally different opinion on it. But yeah, we do follow a lot of people with that approach, don't we?
It is. And it's so hard. Like Darren tries to dabble with the AI stuff. And again, I get it. And he kind of falls into that category of it's not necessarily like he hasn't got a vision. He hasn't got the postcode that he's going to stick into that sat nav. It's like, I'm grafting to get working. I'm outside. Like it ticks lots of boxes, but I'm not totally invested in that business. I don't need a grand plan. I don't need strategy around it. Although the ironic thing around all of this is that he does need strategy around it because he just flits and then does all this stuff and then gets himself in a bit of a mess. So then tries to strategize at that point.
At the crisis point.
At the crisis
not
point.
Yeah.
And this is where I really struggle because I can really see the two distinct types of business owner. Like we've referred to them before, haven't we? Of like the builder and then like the scrappy operator. I can see how actually a good majority of people would fall into that scrappy operator side of it and not the builder. Because actually the builder is very much, yeah, I've got a purpose. I suppose it's us in CBA. It's like, yes, we've got this big vision. We know what we want to do. We're passionate about it. We're living our dream. We're doing all the stuff. We know the steps. We know how to get, because we can see it so clearly. In our dog training business, I would 100% say we were the scrappy operator. It was, what can I do to work with clients that I enjoy working with and I can make some decent cash off of it and I still get to do the thing that I enjoy. I'm not bothered about anything else. If I can go home at the end of the day, I don't have to work evenings. I don't have to work any of the hours that I don't want to work. I can earn some cash. Fucking brilliant.
Yeah. And it's a choice as to whether you want to grow that into the builder type approach or whether you're happy with leaving it how it was.
Yeah. And I suppose, again, for like a good majority of people, if you don't want that, then I suppose that's when you get stuck and you get stuck by yourself, because then you're thinking, well, I don't want to invest in a business coach, or I don't want to invest in a marketing agency, or I don't want to invest in a social media manager because I don't have that thing around it. I just want more inquiries.
Yeah. Or it's not really broken and I don't need all that other stuff that they're saying I need, which arguably you don't. Like, we're not saying you have to have it all. We're saying that having it can make the whole process and journey easier. But if you're happy just operating like that and you just want a little bit more cash, you can do that as well.
Yeah. And the ironic thing is you still need the strategy.
Yeah.
Because even if you do want to operate in that model, you still need to figure out, well, okay, that's absolutely fine to operate in that model. How are you going to get the inquiries? And
this is where it all comes back to like feast and famine, really, doesn't it? Because if you don't have the strategy, I don't know, actually, as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, is that the case? Because I didn't really have feast and famine. I just had famine. That wasn't going to come out of my mouth, actually, but it there was no feast ever. So what I'm trying to say is there wasn't that big roller coaster of I'm getting loads of money in 1 month and not the next, because I'd hit the ceiling point of hours I could work, the fee I could charge. I'm putting that in inverted commas in my head, the fee I could charge. And there was nothing more I could do. So therefore, it was pretty consistent. It was kind of famine, but to the point of like there was no opportunity for there to be feast because I'd put those parameters in myself. I had no strategy though. So I suppose it doesn't always come back down to feast and famine. It could be that you're in a situation like that, really.
Yeah. It's just knowing what to do, isn't it? And again, telling ourselves things like, and I suppose this is where all of us end up, I'm not even going to call it a mistake, because I do think for a lot of brains out there, you kind of have to try these things yourself, don't you? Yeah. Like, it's one of those things. I always remember when I was pregnant with Clay, and of course you get all the advice then on what pregnancy is going to be like, what the birth's going to be like, what the first few weeks is going to be like.
Whether you should breastfeed or not, or
all the stuff, yeah.
I imagine.
All the stuff on like, oh my God, like you're never going to get any sleep ever again. And my brain's like,
paint the worst possible picture.
Yeah. And my brain's like, fuck you. I don't care. Like, I don't believe you, basically. That's your story. That doesn't mean it has to be mine. But we're always told these things, a bit like, you know, we all say as dog trainers, wouldn't it be amazing if people would come to us for preventative stuff, like, and people come to us for the puppy stuff before it's even a problem? It's never going to happen, because somebody always has to have the pain point there in order to be able to want to do something.
And really the only reason they might do that is because they've not done it before and realise the advantages of doing that next time. And it's still pain that's been experienced before.
It's experience all the time. So you can't ever like just take that for granted, that that's not going to happen. And that's where, you know, and again, I've done this myself. I've told myself I need more inquiries. So actually, I'm going to go and invest in an agency, and I'm going to invest in adverts, and I'm going to get them to do all the stuff. And it kind of works, and it kind of does a job. But in order for it to do a really fucking good job, that's where knowing where you want to go is actually really helpful.
Yeah, and I think it can do the job. But is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to properly fix it? And I guess a little bit like, let's bring it back to dog training. You could just work on the symptom and you could just make that better for the time being. But there's probably always going to be a root cause to it. And unless you work on that root cause, look at the business as a whole, pick it apart, however deep you want to go with that, by the way, you can just do it lightly, or you could really go, fuck this, I'm going to pull it all apart and like, don't know, like I did, basically, just fuck it all out the window and start again kind of thing. You can do that if you want as well. But either way, there has to be some level of depth on this, because otherwise you are just going to you're never going to fix the real root cause. How much do we bang on about this with dogs? We don't do it with business.
Yep. And this is where AI comes in, because then we're using AI to help us plug the gaps and
symptoms again. No.
Yep. I don't really know where you end up on that, because it's great, it's not great, it's all of the above.
In summary, I don't think there is one thing you can say really. Like, there are pros, there are cons, there are basically, just don't fucking use it for generic shit like those images and stuff. Like, it just doesn't help anyone.
I think if you're going to start anywhere, start working on your business. Like, figure out, who do you want to be working with? What are you really fucking awesome at? Where do you see your business in a few years' time? Like, if you start answering some of these questions, start asking yourself better questions, not how do I get more inquiries? It's like, why haven't I got any inquiries? Why haven't I got enough inquiries? Like, flip the script and really start diagnosing. Look at your business holistically.
Yeah, and like, no one knows you like you, even Chatty, even the people you've built this relationship with, people in real life, people on very digital, whatever, they don't know you like you know yourself. So if you say, what should I be doing? How do they fucking know? You know what you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And you are only going to, I believe, you are only ever going to create something sustainable if you love it in some way. Now, I'm not saying it has to have the big vision and the big impact. Great if it does. But you've got to want to get out of bed and do it every day.
Yeah.
You've got to love your clients. You've got
I think
to
it's
love
knowing it's
all
like a short-term business, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're not in love with it.
Yeah.
Like, you can make it work, but you're still going to hit a point where you're like,
oh, I'm done with this now.
I'm done.
Yeah.
And that could be years. That could be a 10-year stint. Yeah. Hell, we all do it in employment.
Yeah.
You all do that and we don't always love it.
Well, yeah, because how many jobs? Like, I've gone for jobs before going, I'd do that for a couple of years and then move on to another thing. Like, I've already got that in my head before I've even got the job, applied for the job. It'd be a good stepping stone, that would be. I'm not even looking at like I'm invested in that job.
To me, actually, this is kind of like the daft thing in some ways, because we always want to, I'll say always, it's conditioning again, I feel, in that you get a job. It's got a bit better over the last several years now, but it used to be, didn't it? It's like, you get a job, you're in it for life, it pays you a good pension, then you live your life after you've worked like 60 years. Boom, there you go. Go live now. Then it became more acceptable to flit between jobs. Like, it was okay. Then in the background, you've got this weird group of people, this like cult group of people that are going against the norm and trying to earn money for themselves, and it's the rise of the entrepreneur. And the thing I struggle with is, we've already made the hard decision to go and be the entrepreneur. Why would we not want to love it? Because employment is actually a lot easier in that respect. You've got safety from consistent income. You may not enjoy it, but a lot of us are treating our businesses like a job.
An employed job, yeah.
And for me, that's just
a trap. That's the trap.
Yeah. And I just think it's really sad when actually, because the daft thing is, you choose to leave or not go down the employed route because you want more freedom.
Yeah.
You'll work fucking harder for yourself than you would do for anybody else.
Absolutely.
You'll work more hours. You will give up more stuff to go and work for yourself.
So it's funny how we have this romantic view of being self-employed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, the freedom. Oh, I can work my own hours.
I saw
every fucking hour?
I saw a quote the other day. I'm totally going to butcher it, but it was almost like, I've given up the 40-hour work week job to go and work 80 hours for myself. So yeah, I'd say that's fair. That's
quite accurate, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh. So if you don't love it, then
I think it's got to come. There are different scales of love, but I think there has to be something attached there, because otherwise it's never gonna be sustainable.
Yeah. And again, like you'll just work another type of job for however many years,
or you'll be just looking for the thing constantly.
Yeah,
because it hasn't fulfilled you. It hasn't it hasn't hit the nail on the head with what you thought it would. So you'll just be like, oh, I'm doing this thing, I'm going through the motions, it feels like a chore, but really there's something else, but I don't know what that thing is. And I think when people are in that position, they've made the leap, they've gone self-employed, they're doing the thing they said they would do, validation here, there and everywhere, but they're truly not happy still. And to quote Gordon Bircham, like, there's not enough happiness in this world. Like, might sound cheesy. How many people hate their business doing it for like just the day to day to get through?
Or it's like, I just love a part of it.
A little part of it, not all of it.
I love working with the dogs, but everything else is a big stress and I don't want to do it. Like, you should love every single part of your business.
If that's how you feel, you should go and work for someone else that's got the business and you can just do the dog bit then. Yeah. That's what I think.
I mean, should's like a really harsh word, isn't it? Like, you should love every part of it.
You could absolutely go and do that. If that's the bit, I know I can be the best version of myself if I don't have to work on any of the other shit. Go and do that.